Electric vehicle chargers that can enable EVs to power your home. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Emporia Energy is founder and CEO Shawn McLaughlin. Thanks for taking the time, Shawn.
Oh, thank you so much for letting me come on the show.
Well, give us some background to start with about Emporia Energy. You're not exactly brand new, right?
Well, we're not. We were formed in 2018, so still relatively young company. Been at it for about 4 years, and I founded the company after a long stint in the energy marketing and trading business, with the idea that we can help homeowners save money on their utility bills by providing them with a consumer value proposition around a energy monitoring and home energy management system.
So the energy management business is what you focused on, right?
We have, yes.
Now, you're partnering with BREK Electronics to deliver an EV charger that will not only transfer power from the grid and home to the vehicle, but also from the vehicle back to the home and grid. Tell us about this.
That's correct. So we are building a bidirectional charger in partnership with BREK that will allow homeowners to manage their energy consumption from their electric vehicle who is parked in the car or in the garage or in the parking lot 95% of the time.
Well, describe for us how that will work. And are there certain vehicles, certain EVs that this is going to be designed to work with?
Yeah, most of the car manufacturers have made announcements around supporting vehicle to grid or vehicle to home bidirectional EV charging. There's not been a lot of detail that have come along with those announcements. However, we are building our bidirectional charger around an open communication protocol called ISO 11158-20 that will really be the handshake between the car and electric vehicle, that we'll be able to let the car know when we want to charge, when we want to pull that battery. And our belief is within the next 24 months to 36 months, most car manufacturers will adopt this communication protocol or one very similar with it that will allow consumers to choose which system they would like to pair with their vehicle in managing their home energy consumption.
So what should consumers expect from a system like this? How I guess it's going to be dependent on the size of the battery, perhaps in the electric vehicle, but what could they expect as far as being able to power their home in an emergency from their vehicle?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think that it's one of the reasons why we haven't heard a lot of detail from the car manufacturers. What does it mean if I send a car owner home with an electric vehicle in a bidirectional charger? How does the homeowner use it? And that is really what Emporia has been attacking for the last 4 years through its smart home energy management system. And by combining it with the bidirectional charger, we are giving the consumer a really seamless user experience, right? So this will get installed inside of their garage, carport, or out in front of their home. Customers will be able to come in and plug in their EV charger, and they'll be able to get into their Emporia app and kind of preset how they want their home energy to be managed through the Emporia system. And so whether that be for just resiliency and emergency backup, whether that be to manage the utility rate schedule, perhaps time of use pricing, where you've seen a lot of these time of use rate schedules being rolled out throughout the country, where their off-peak pricing can be 10 to 15% cheaper than their peak pricing, and to be able to shift load and run their home and car during those expensive peak hours, and then refill that car battery during those off-peak hours. And these are all configurable inside the Emporia app, where a homeowner can decide how aggressive they want to be in managing their consumption, how much battery consumption do they want to use, how much grid power do they want to use, and when and how their battery is dispatched into their home. But trying to make a really simple consumer experience.
What kind of equipment would I need to take advantage of this?
Yeah, so you'd want a professional electrician to come install the bidirectional charger. He will set up a critical load panel where you would decide, hey, when there is grid isolation, here are the things that I want my home to continue to operate, whether that be refrigeration or maybe your AC units or some kind of vital load. And when the grid goes down, our system will detect the grid outage, instantly transfer you over to that critical load panel, and your home will continue to be powered from your electric vehicle. But on top of that, when you install the Emporia Smart Home Energy Management System, we'll be monitoring your energy consumption 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We send 1 second data up to the cloud and back to the consumer, and it's disaggregated all the way down to individual loads and circuits. And then further, we've connected to your third-party smart home devices, such as your air conditioning system through smart thermostat integration. We're actually writing straight to the car APIs, communicate directly to the car, not even have to go through the charger, but lighting load, smart panel load, and you'll be able to, again, set up parameters that says, hey, look, before you pull from my car battery, adjust my thermostat a couple of degrees. Or, hey, why not pre-cool my house? Why have excess solar? And then get it back to temperature while prices are higher on pulling power from the grid. And so it really just takes the bidirectional EV charger and a professional electrician to come and install that. And along with that, they'll install the Emporia Smart Home Energy Management System inside your electrical panel. And then it's all configured through either our app, or you actually have a web app as well. So you can configure it and set it up through your computer, your personal computer.
How expensive do you anticipate this will be?
Well, that's one thing that we're really excited about, the partnership with Dr. Robertson over at BREK. He spent 38 years really writing the book on power system control engineering. It's so exciting when we go out to interview engineers and they just love the work that Erickson's done, and he's world-renowned. They learned from the textbooks that he's written. And with his novel technology, we believe that we're going to be able to deliver a charger that's going to be smaller, lighter, and less expensive than has been contemplated so far. So we are targeting below a $1,500 MSRP for an 11.5 kilowatt, 25-foot cable, and a top-of-the-line spec bidirectional charger. The Emporia Smart Home Energy Management System that comes along with it, that's on the market today. We've got about 60,000 of these systems live in the market. We fell through Amazon and our website. And for the most robust system that has 16 individual circuit level monitoring, it's $150. We really believe in driving an exceptional consumer value proposition, which includes customer service, user experience, and price. And this will really become evident when you look at our electric vehicle charger. It's a level 2 25-foot cable EV charger, so right along the top of the line specs that you'll see out there, and we retail it for $399 versus a lot of the competition, which are $550 to $700 for a similarly spec'd unit.
Very interesting. And you also have power packs, the batteries for the homes on the market. Tell me about that.
We do. We are currently bringing our home battery system to market. We have partnered with a Chinese manufacturer called Alpha ESS, and together we're bringing the Emporia Alpha ESS battery system. It comes with 2 sizes of inverters. You can choose between a 7.6 kilowatt inverter or a 9.6 kilowatt inverter. It does have a transformer that will do grid isolation sub-second. We're actually measuring it in milliseconds. And so I've played with this at our home and at my home and at our building here. And you don't even see the light flickers when the power goes out and you transition from grid power to the battery. You can be working on your PC and it won't interrupt your Zoom call per se. And so we're super excited about that. It comes with 8 kilowatt hour battery modules, and you can stack up to 6 8 kilowatt battery modules behind one single inverter. So you can size your system between 8 kilowatts and 48 kilowatts of battery backup.
And on an 8 kilowatt system, how long would that power your home? I guess it's dependent on, obviously on what you have running, but
Yeah. Of course, in America, there's a great variety of homes and sizes and climates, right? The average home in the United States is about a 2,500 square foot home, typically their peak energy consumption is going to be driven from their air conditioner or their oven. Obviously, now with electric vehicles, that will be the largest energy usage. But again, through the Emporia system, you can prioritize what you want to run with your battery and what you don't. So we can pause your EV charger before your battery kicks in, or lower your air conditioner through your smart thermostat before we kick in that battery.
so typically with the smallest unit you would sell, it would power your home for roughly a day. Is that what?
Yeah, on an average home, right? And again, that's depending on the climate. Obviously, in the warmer climates, where you run an air conditioner a lot harder. That's a wide variety. In larger homes in the southern hemisphere, southern part of the country, are going to need much bigger systems. But the smaller homes in the northern, the 8 kilowatt hour system should run your critical load panel for most of the 24-hour period.
And is the market for this mostly people who have or will be putting in solar panels?
Yeah, I mean, the home battery systems, are exciting. When we started Emporia, it was one of the things we really studied and looked at. And we come from the point of view from, again, that consumer value proposition and what return on investment makes sense for the average consumer to put a home battery in place. And when you look at utility rate schedules, the opportunity to manage peak demand charges, time of use, typically across the country, it'll vary geographically and by utility, but you need to install a home battery system at about $500 a kilowatt or below to get a sub kind of 10-year return on investment. Maybe let's call it a 7-year return on investment. And that's hard to do, right? Batteries are expensive. Sending a professional electrician out to your home to install the battery with the critical load panel, you're typically going to push up closer to $1,000 a kilowatt hour. And that only makes sense when you can really put value on backup or resiliency, right? So the biggest demand for these are in places like California, where you have a lot of grid outages due to the wildfires. Places like Texas and the Gulf Coast, where you have a lot of extended outages because of hurricanes or weather, right? So when you start trying to monetize or put a value on being out of power for a week or even a day or a few hours, and you can have spoilage of food, or you're working from home, just being offline, that's where it really becomes economical. For the average homeowner that's not looking for grid resiliency, the bidirectional charger is going to be a great option. Again, for $1,500 versus $1,000 a kilowatt hour, or let's say 10 to 15,000 for a battery system, you'll be able to buy a bidirectional charger and be able to run your home for several days, if not a week, off of that 100 kilowatt hour power that's in your garage.
And how are you different from, you mentioned before, what some of the automakers have planned, Ford's F-150 Lightning? That's one of the features they talk about.
Right. Yeah, a couple of ways. Obviously, again, a partnership with BREK and Dr. Erickson and his 38 plus years of writing the book on power system control engineering. We believe we're going to be able to launch a bidirectional charger that's going to be smaller, lighter, and less expensive. That's contemplated on the market today. Now, he's not the only one working with kind of novel technology or proprietary IP. So what we're also really excited about is the combination of the two companies, where we can integrate the bidirectional charger into that smart home energy management system. Again, we've got 55, 60,000 smart home energy management systems in the market. We're listening to our customers each and every day. We continue to iterate and build features and user experience. So we think one of the big things that's going to differentiate ourselves is what we're learning today on what customers are looking for and how does that user experience work. And it becomes a seamless tool for them to integrate their car as an extension of their house, almost like another appliance. And there's been some really exciting third-party pilot programs and studies from companies like Duke Power, where they're showing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of utility bill savings annually from a single bidirectional charger. And being able to seamlessly incorporate that into the Emporia Smart Home Energy Management System to allow people to reap those benefits is what we're most excited about.
For more information, where can people go?
Well, obviously, we're online today at emporiaenergy.com. We have a customer service desk that we pride ourselves is answered by a human on the first ring. So also feel free to call into Emporia's customer service if you have any questions. And today you can find our energy management system for sale not only at our website, emporiaenergy.com, but also on Amazon. Look for energy monitoring systems or home energy management systems, and you'll see us pop up as Amazon's choice and the best seller out there.
Terrific. Shawn McLaughlin, thank you for taking the time with us.
All right, appreciate the time as well, and thank you so much for giving Emporia a look at this. Thank you.